Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for taking time to check the video out today. I really appreciate it. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and talk about. Before we dive into these topics today, do me a big favor and hit the like button to help this video out and show your support. And be sure to hit that subscribe button as well if you are new here to the channel. The first topic we're talking about is Sony possibly planning a PlayStation mobile controller. This is what a newly published patent seems to be suggesting. So this is reading from VGC, and they say Sony Interactive Entertainment has patented what appears to be a controller, a PlayStation controller, designed for mobile gaming. The patent, which was published this week by SIE's Japanese division, describes a system for playing games on a device coupled with two controller grips. The controller, which resembles PS4's DualShock 4 rather than PS5's newer DualSense, is described as a left side grip portion and a right side grip portion gripped by the left and right hands of the user. According to the patent, the included drawings of the device omit a shaft portion that can be tilted by the user and detect the tilting direction and tilting amount of the shaft portion. If such a device comes to fruition, it could be used in conjunction with a smartphone to play PlayStation games via remote play or via the cloud, similar to how third-party controller grips can currently be used to play streamed Xbox games. PlayStation controllers are already compatible with mobile devices via Bluetooth. The patent arrives amid a fresh push into mobile gaming by the PlayStation maker. In October, SIE appointed former Apple Arcade content boss Nicola Sebastiani to lead the company's mobile operations. So this is a very interesting patent in my opinion, because I absolutely believe this is something Sony is going to pursue. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. We know that remote play is still something they are continuing to support, and we know that Sony has further plans when it comes to cloud gaming and PlayStation Now. It just seems like they're still working on it behind the scenes, and they haven't yet let us know exactly how these plans are going to come into play, but we know that they are working on it. And then we do also know that they are pursuing more mobile games for the phone. So it would just make complete sense for Sony to want to create something like this. There are plenty of PlayStation fans who want to see Sony continue to support the dedicated handheld gaming market. Obviously, a lot of fans of the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation Portable, but as of right now, it seems highly unlikely Sony's going to do that. And that's why I do think that what we're seeing here with this patent does make a lot of sense. And I do think this will be something Sony ends up bringing to the market. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. We know that they're continuing to support remote play. They're continuing with cloud gaming to some extent. Obviously, they have PlayStation Now, and we know that their main competitor with Microsoft is pursuing this much more aggressively than Sony is with something like xCloud and just kind of unifying that entire ecosystem. So we'll have to see what Sony ends up doing with this controller, but either way, I think it makes a lot of sense. Maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments below what you make of it. The next topic in line is also a very interesting one. A new website has just popped up that may be teasing a new Bioshock title. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to cover this, well, I know that there are a lot of Bioshock fans and a lot of people who are eagerly anticipating the next title and seeing what it's going to be like, but there were rumors circulating earlier this year that apparently Sony may have locked down Bioshock 4 or the next mainline Bioshock game as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and this would be a very big get for Sony if this turns out to be true. These rumors stemmed from the Xbox Era podcast, once again coming from Special Nick. He's been pretty reliable when it comes to PlayStation. He seems to be one of the only relatively reliable insiders, and back in May of this year, he did say that he's heard there's going to be some type of exclusivity when it comes to the next Bioshock game and PlayStation 5. He doesn't know how far that exclusivity extends. But getting back to this new website, it's reading from PlayStation Universe, and it says it's been a long time since we've seen a new Bioshock game, although it's not been that long since we last heard about the next iteration of Bioshock. Back in May, we learned it's being developed on Unreal Engine 5, and today we learned that more information is likely coming. The website popping up and the Game Awards being so close is likely no coincidence. Big announcements and reveals are core to the Game Awards now, as Jeff Keighley has said himself, and Bioshock 4 fits the bill. The URL is thereisalwaysalighthouse.com, with the website's name being Stay Tuned. Now, of course, this could be nothing, at least right now, because Stay Tuned could be a while. Although this really does look like a cheeky Bioshock tease right now, it's just a website and an image, so it's not a lot to go off of. Now, again, you know, it kind of says it here in the article that we really don't know for sure if this has anything to do with Bioshock, but the timing does seem right. It does seem like, you know, the Game Awards would be a place where you could see the next Bioshock game revealed, and we have no clue whether or not that's what this is, and we also don't know for sure whether or not the next Bioshock title will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. But what I will say is that it will be a pretty massive announcement if during the Game Awards, or even, you know, next year, whenever it's going to be announced, if it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, even if it's timed for just a year, that's a big deal. Bioshock is you know, a very big franchise that people really love, and I think that would be a huge get for Sony. So we'll have to, I guess, as the website says, stay tuned and see what this ends up being, if anything. We're moving to the next topic though, which focuses briefly on GT7, because the new racing wheel by Fanatec has been revealed. It's going to be priced at $700 and pre-orders are open now. I don't know how many people are going to want to buy this, because that's very expensive, but apparently it is a very premium racing wheel, and we know that GT7 is more of a simulation game. When people get into it, they really get into it. This is reading from Gaming Bolt. GT7 is looking to become the ultimate racing sim out there when it launches next year, promising realism, authenticity, and mechanical depth and tightness, the way the series has always been known to offer. Of course, for the racing sim fanatics out there, the best and perhaps the only way of playing one of these games is with a steering wheel accessory, and a mighty impressive one has been announced for Polyphony Digital and Sony's upcoming racer. Fanatec has unveiled the Gran Turismo Direct Drive Pro, which is the first officially licensed drive wheel accessory to be announced for the PS5 yet, though it will still also work on PC and Xbox consoles, and as its name suggests, it goes hand in hand with the upcoming GT7, offering 5 Nm of torque with its base model and promising the smoothest and most dynamic force feedback sensations. It certainly looks like a monstrous piece of kit, while aesthetically it's got plenty going for it, especially with an LED light strip to brighten things up. The price for the wheel starts at $700, but goes up to $970 for the best and costliest model. And as I said earlier, pre-orders are live for this now. So I wanted to be sure to let you guys know about this, because I know that there are a lot of PlayStation 5 owners and PS4 owners as well who are extremely excited for GT7. And as this article states, there are a lot of people who they just can't play this game without having a proper racing wheel. And so if, you know, this is a game you're going to be putting hundreds, possibly thousands of hours into, this might be a worthwhile investment for you. But moving on from that, we're talking briefly again about SIFU. We have a little bit more information on this title over on the official SIFU game Twitter. They say we still have more to share with you before SIFU's launch, starting with our first hands-on previews in December. They also want to let you know that they have created an Instagram and a TikTok if you're interested in following them there. But this I thought was worth noting, because I'm very interested to hear, you know, what hands-on impressions of this game, you know, what it's going to be like to play it. And so we can look forward to that in December. And then on top of that, the creators of SIFU are also letting us know that it will require at least a couple of runs to fully uncover all the secrets of the game. Reading from Gaming Bolt, it says, speaking in an interview with MP First when asked about the game's average length, the executive producer Pierre Tarnot said that playtime will vary depending on how players are at the game, which is a pretty vague answer. That said, Tarnot also revealed that there will be hidden secrets in the game that will promote replay value, since players have to go through the game a couple of times to fully understand them. The campaign length will vary depending on the kung fu skills of the player, Tarnot said. In terms of replay value, there are a couple of hidden secrets inside the game that might take a couple of runs for players to fully understand. Now, Obviously, this game is not going to be that long. I think that that's pretty clear. It seems like he was hesitant to put, like an hour completion time on this, and I think that it makes sense for a game like this to be shorter, in the sense that you can't really say, oh yeah, it'll take about 5 hours to beat, because that might not be true for somebody who is, taking a little bit longer to really get good at the game. I guess you could say it could end up taking them 10 hours or much longer than that. I will say this is a more expensive indie title. I think it's like $40. And so, with that in mind, I would expect it to be, a decently long game. Like, I wouldn't expect to beat this game within 5 to 6 hours. I think that would be a little bit disappointing if it was that quick, right? I expect it to have a pretty substantial amount of content. Again, the price that they're asking for the game. Everything that I've seen so far, it looks like they have a bunch of diverse areas, and I don't imagine this is a game that you're just going to fly through. I could be wrong about that, but I do think he's trying to make it clear that if you want to get the full experience and you want to, uncover everything, I think that's just how it goes with pretty much all games. It's probably going to require at least a couple of playthroughs. But moving on to the next topic, we're talking about an unannounced Marvel MMORPG that is in development by the DC Universe Online developer, and it could be the rumored PlayStation game. So, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, Sweden-based video game holding company Enad Global 7 has revealed that one of its subsidiaries is working on an unannounced Marvel massively multiplayer online game. The subsidiary happens to be Dimensional Inc. Games, a division of Daybreak Game Company. EG7 included this news in its Q3 2021 investor presentation, as spotted by Reset Error user Uzi Pedro. And it says the project is being led by Jack Emmert, who designed and helmed City of Heroes and is currently leading DC Universe Online. No further information is available at this time. Interestingly, about 2 weeks ago, known insider who goes by the name Special Nick claimed in his Xbox Era podcast that Sony has signed a deal for a DC Universe Online type game set in the Marvel Universe. While Special Nick said he doesn't know which developers behind the title, he speculated it could be Insomniac Games because of the studio's recently published multiplayer-related job listings. However, it looks like that's not the case. It's also unclear what kind of deal Sony has struck here. The company is no stranger to timed PlayStation exclusives, but given its history with Marvel properties, a full exclusive isn't outside the realm of possibility. Reset Error user Miller also added some weight to this story. An untitled Marvel game by Daybreak was listed on the famous GeForce Now leak, which has been accurate thus far. Emmert, who is leading the effort now, previously served as lead designer on Marvel Universe Online at Cryptic Studios before Microsoft canned the project. So I thought that this was really interesting and certainly worth talking about briefly here, because it does seem like this is actually the rumored game that we heard about. And I always thought it was kind of strange to assume that it's Insomniac Games working on this, only because it seems like it's just a little bit too much. And there was some disappointment expressed by fans if that, if this was the case, where not only is Insomniac working on Spider-Man 2 and a dedicated Wolverine game, but now they're also going to be working on some type of Marvel multiplayer game. I think to a lot of PlayStation fans, it felt like, well, I guess if that's the case, then Insomniac is just the Marvel studio now, which I don't think anybody wants to see that happen. We always want to see them kind of doing different projects outside of Marvel. And so to me, this makes too much sense. And I do think that this could be a relatively big announcement for Sony if this is true. I think that if they locked it down as a permanent exclusive on the PlayStation consoles, that would definitely be a big get for Sony. But we'll have to wait and see. What we do know is that this is a game that's in development at this studio. So I actually did play a little bit of DC Universe Online before. It was pretty good. So I think that there's a lot of potential here for them to do something pretty good with this Marvel MMORPG. So you can let me know what you think about that down in the comments below, but that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Be sure to leave it a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.